Hello. Well, we're covering Metal Gear Solid now. This is just our E3 discussions on just some of the trailers that came out of E3.
Yeah. So this is Metal Gear Solid 5. This is again a trailer directed by Kojima as well. So it's all very cryptic, of course, and confusing and
Directed and edited by Kojima.
edited. God, can't mention that at all. So do you want to take the first point, Nick?
Right.
Being the bigger Metal Gear fan than me.
There is a lot of death.
A lot of death. I mean, like the first shot. I mean, what is covered in blood? Like.
See, this is. I'm going to go in and talk about some symbolism here quickly. There is a lot because Kojima is really trying to put the point across that Snake is a demon.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
the shard in his head is
a
a horn sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah, but the first shot, he's walking through dead bodies. Everyone's dead around him. He's walking through it.
Yeah.
Cuts to the next shot, where he slowly zooms in to Snake around fire.
Yeah.
So
It's
obviously,
really starting to...
and then death around him again.
Because like he says at the end of the trailer from last year, I'm already a demon.
Yeah.
You know, like that's... he's going to become a monster or something, is what he's going across.
But then,
it sounds like he's reluctant to become one.
Yeah.
Well, you know, he doesn't want what's happening to him to happen, obviously,
but then in the next shot, obviously, we're going to go into more about the ashes in a bit. But he puts the ashes on his face. Obviously, we can speculate your answer, which we will in a minute. But I'm thinking that means he's a ghost of his former self.
Yeah.
It's a kind of white on his face. He definitely looks like a ghost.
Yeah.
And then obviously you see the horn.
Yeah.
But then this goes into it because it cuts straight after to the blood all over his face, and he's become the full demon.
Yeah.
So this bit is where he's losing himself with the kind of like ghost with the ashes. That's where he's slowly going until he's full blown.
Just
gone.
Mental. I mean, like everything that's happening. So I mean, he's even got. It's only an assumption, but the red hand he's got on.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but the guy from Peace Walker. Zadornov. That was it. He's got that hand, and he was obviously evil, and like he was the bad guy of that game, and you know, maybe Snake's putting it on for a symbolic reason as well. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he could be. Yeah. Well, next bit I wanted to talk about was the new mother base.
Yeah, the new mother base. I actually thought this looks also a lot like the big shell from Metal Gear 2. It's obviously not the big shell, but it looks like, I don't know, maybe his design of it is a little bit inspired by it. But...
Yeah, but the big shell was made there and then.
Yeah,
as in because the tanker got destroyed. Yeah, because I've heard a lot of speculation going around that it's the big shell. It can't be.
It can't be, yeah, because that was built where the boat crashes in Metal Gear 2.
Because it's an oil rig to obviously suck out oil from wherever, from oil spillages. So there's no way it can. It just can't. It's obviously it's just another water base. The thing I didn't like it.
What, the new base?
No.
How come?
Only because I wanted it to be the real mother base, as in.
So it doesn't look. This doesn't look like the mother base in the original.
The other mother base is literally it's in like kind of like in a kind of cave environment. It's all in the woods and kind of like there's different. It's a base. It's not like kind of like an oil rig. It is a proper.
Well, I've never actually played the original 2 Metal Gear games, so I don't really know what stuff
like
looks
Snake
like.
gets to it like through the sewers or something.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe this is.
Just play the NES version when you parachute in the woods.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe they've just rebuilt. What was it called in Peace Walker?
Yeah. Mother Base.
Mother Base. Yeah. Maybe he's just rebuilt that. Maybe this isn't Outer Haven.
But then they've gone into another theory. What I'm thinking of later on, you do see a massive hangar.
Yeah.
With we'll get to that in a minute. But that could be. He might take over that base, and that could form the real mother base.
Maybe. Yeah.
The real Outer Heaven. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about Gear trailers, like especially this one and last year's. It's all, what could that be? Or is it that? It's a lot of speculation and no answers, which is good because, especially with like film trailers lately, normally they show something that it's like, oh, you've ruined that for the film. I don't feel this is ruining the game whatsoever. It's just showing you cryptic messages and trying to make you get thinking about the game, and it's working. I mean, we've speculated on this loads, but it's like it just works. I mean, this trailer is nowhere near as good as last year's, but it still makes us chat and
like shed his information.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing I love about Metagear is you can just predict. You will never get right, but you can just speculate and have a massive chat about it.
Yeah.
So you got one?
Yeah, I just saw then actually is the Outer Haven logo actually shows up at the end there. There's like a banner.
Ah.
Yeah. So you actually see an Outer Haven logo and it says Venom Awakened underneath, which is another thing to make out that he's a demon sort of thing.
Oh, actually, no. Now that I think about it, they showed the Diamond Dogs logo and then the Outer Heaven logo. Maybe if this is going into my theory I said earlier about Snake requiring the base later on, maybe the other base, the main base for Skullface, is Outer Heaven.
Oh yeah, maybe he's trying to steal that base.
But they're putting the two logos next to each other. So the Diamond Dogs logo, which obviously Snake and Kaz are in now,
building
to the Outer Heaven. That's what the enemies are.
Yeah.
So could be that, and then Snake takes that over there.
Yeah.
Because in the original game, Outer Heaven is you don't know Snake's in charge of it.
Oh yeah, you don't know big boss.
And it is established like kind of it is. Well, obviously it's where you got to infiltrate. This is where shit goes down. So it is somewhere has to be established, but no one knows that Big Boss is involved. So this could be that he keeps the operations going there.
Yeah.
But obviously he's doing it behind the scenes, sort of thing.
I mean, we've got the Skullface character who, last year people were speculating on who he was.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got something to do with Metal Gear 3 as well, is what I'm thinking. Because Metal Gear 3 is kind of the arc-off point for everything.
Yeah. Thing is, I don't think it is going to be anyone because I can't really think of who it could be. People think it's Volgan, but he looks too.
I think it's simply because of his size.
Yeah.
He's quite a tall, broad person sort of thing.
Because I don't want him to be anyone else. I think
he might be someone new.
Yeah, he's kind of his own separate character because we are getting Ocelot back.
Yeah.
We're getting all these other characters. Obviously, Zero will probably make an appearance at some point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're getting all these characters, but I don't want everything to entwine with something else. So I think that's what. In Metal Gear 3, everyone was part of Metal Gear Solid 1 pretty much, except for Zero. Like Paramedic was Dr. Clark, who later on, I think she was one of the ones who make the Cyborg Ninja.
Oh yeah.
And obviously Sigurd is DARPA Chief.
Yeah.
So there's all these kind of like coming in. Obviously Eva becomes the mom of Solid and Liquid Snake.
Probably all going to connect somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe Eva's going to be mentioned in this at some point because she goes a long way from Metal Gear 3 to Metal Gear 4.
Yeah. So, thing is, I don't think she will be. I don't think she has any involvement really of Big Boss.
I think he's too far out from things.
Yeah.
I'm interested into how Ocelot's come back because obviously he wasn't dead or anything, but like he wasn't in Peace Walker at all. It wasn't even mentioned.
Yeah.
So I wonder why he's suddenly found them and what's happening here.
So. Well, Ocelot, he's got an addiction to Snake.
Yeah.
He's just Big Boss is his hero sort of thing. So he's obviously must have known Snake is in a bit of a shit and wanted to come save him. And he's stuck, unless Kaz goes seeking him out. Well, maybe he takes over. Maybe he's the one who forms Diamond Dogs.
Yeah, because
in honor of Snake. Because obviously Kaz is going to be kidnapped for his nightmares.
Yeah.
Well, assuming.
Yeah, because Ocelot breaks him out of the hospital, doesn't he?
Yeah.
As we've seen in the trailer last year.
So maybe after MSF gets destroyed, Ocelot forms a new one, maybe, and starts.
I mean, maybe he does take over MSF and just rebuilds it over the 9 years that Snake is in a coma.
Yeah.
Alright,
the big one I want to talk about is Huey.
Yeah, why on earth is Snake torturing? Because we saw so much torture in the trailer last year, we assumed it would be from other people. We didn't think it would be
basically
Snake himself.
You've only played Ground Zeroes, you're answering the audio logs, have you, in Ground Zeroes?
Yeah, I've only played the actual story missions.
Basically, Huey is the one who set up everything. He's the one who gets the. He's the one who wants to, because they want to go. I can't remember what they're called now. But they want to come and investigate for nuclear weapons and make sure everything's all right. Huey's the one who authorizes it, and he does it behind Snake's back.
Well, because I remember at the end of Ground Zeroes when you're flying back in the helicopter, Snake is talking to Huey. He's saying, "Oh, the inspectors are here and stuff."
Yeah. Well, he knows about it, but Snake doesn't authorize it originally. He goes. Huey mentions it to him, and then Snake says, "No, don't worry. Let's ignore it." Imig has decided to ignore it.
Okay.
Then Huey comes back in another audio log and says, "I've authorized it."
Huh.
And Snake's like, "What are you doing?" But then he just says, and then he makes
they're
excuse.
arguing, or?
No. He basically says, "Yeah, I think it wouldn't hurt to get him to check out, and then we're all fine."
Yeah.
But it is a bit suspicious.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting.
I had a theory at the last E3 that I think, because I think Huey is part of Cypher. I believe that he was always part of Cypher, and well, obviously he's the reason why everything got fucked up. That's how Skullfish knew where he was, and how everything got blown up pretty much. But the thing is, now I'm thinking like I think it's too obvious.
I mean, is Huey, is that Ottocon's father or grandfather?
It's Ottocon's father.
Because Otacon said a lot in Metal Gear 2 and 1 how he was tortured by nuclear weapons throughout his family history. Maybe he's talking a bit more about his father, about how his father was, maybe he betrayed the country or something, who knows. But
so I think it's either two things. Huey's part of Cypher, or Snake thinks Huey's part of Sniper and they torture him to get information when Huey doesn't actually have any involvement.
Yeah, that could be interesting, because that would also come back to the idea that Snake is a demon and he's torturing him, and that will make Snake think he's a demon even more. He's tortured him for no reason. Maybe Huey's going to die in this.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't know when Otacon is born. He's probably been born by this point.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll have to look back at the timeline for that. But
the one thing I do want to talk about as well is the Snake, Solid Snake and Liquid Snake, and heck, even Solidus Snake are born by this point, aren't they?
Yeah.
Are they going to show up in this game, do you think?
I figured that out yesterday. What age you were? I think there'll be. I can't remember now. They're 11 or 12 at this point.
Yeah.
So that because a lot of people think that Ellie is Liquid.
Could be.
But yeah, which it could be right, because for some reason he needs to hate Big Boss.
Yeah.
There needs to be something to make him out, and for some reason for him to figure out that he is to make him believe he's the inferior clone. When like someone puts that into his head.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if he ever met Big Boss. Maybe it is in, maybe it's not. But people think Raiden's going to be in it. That's a no.
How old would Raiden be at
4.
This point? 4. Okay, at least no. I mean,
unless they recruit a child soldier as that young.
Because wasn't Raiden a child soldier? And yeah.
But you'd have to have Solidus around.
4 is a bit like, it's probably not going to happen.
I think you'd have to have Solidus in.
Yeah.
As well, because
I mean,
I think picks him up.
I think Solidus could be an interesting one to see in it, because he's the best clone of Snake, isn't he? So it'd be really interesting to see if he shows up.
The thing is, I never know about Solidus might. I don't know if he is. If he's a clone that. Well, if he was a baby, he came out as a baby, because you don't know. He wasn't born. Because the reason Solid and Liquid are different, I've always thought it's probably differences. I've always thought it's because you have Eva's genes in there as well, and that's why they came out a bit different.
Yeah,
obviously Eva's in the mother.
Because they were the twins.
I don't know how all like surrogate mother sort of stuff works.
Because wasn't Solid and Liquid twins within Eva, and Solidus was a test tube?
Yeah, Solidus had nothing to do with Eva.
Yeah.
So did he come out as an adult? Because some reason he takes over. He becomes president in Metal Gear Solid 1, and Snake's still pretty young in Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah.
And he's the president at that time.
Wow.
So
because he's a lot older in Metal Gear 2 as well, isn't he? He's got grey hair and everything.
So I'm assuming if he came out the same age as Big Boss sort of thing, he was aging, like maybe. But yeah,
maybe this is a complete fuck up, and this is actually in this game you're playing as Solidus. Really mess with your head.
Oh no, don't go into theories about that then.
Massive theory.
You're going to get people hanging on like David Hare's going to pop up.
That is... as we mentioned before, Kaz in the army clothes on the left there. You can see he's missing his arm and his leg, that's why he's got the walking stick. Surprising no one ever thought of that last year, really.
I think there's so many speculation there. He just kind of like brushed over the fact that it's Kaz. Like.
Yeah.
But it's Kaz with his new like badass look.
Should we jump onto the ash pots? Because we kind of... I mean, I have a couple of theories. The specific one he's got, maybe the boss's, but... Don't know what happened to because the boss was buried, wasn't she?
Yeah, I don't think it would be the boss.
But otherwise, I think it might be the ashes of the people who died at the end of Ground Zeroes from NSF.
Yeah, it could be a combination.
There's a lot
of them coming up. Yeah. But specifically, why they've shown this one, maybe is because we haven't seen a certain someone who was in Ground Zeroes. Chico.
Oh,
Did
Chico survive the helicopter crash?
But then, were they keeping his ashes until Snake come along?
Yeah. That's a good point.
But it's most likely that his soldiers he's lost.
Yeah.
Because a lot of shit still happens after this, and a lot of people are still dying around Snake. Really. So it's probably just there's a soldier. Maybe Chico does come back because I want Chico in it.
Yeah, I want him to be older,
Because-
sort of thing. Because he'd be he was 15 in Metal Gear Ground Zeroes, wasn't he?
I don't know, 12,
Something like
13,
12, something like
13,
that.
14.
So he'd be in his early 20s by this game.
So I want him to go. Cause he loves Paz. He's in love with her. So after what happened with the Snook,
Yeah.
I think I think he should go up get revenge for her.
One thing I had in my list was is all of Boss's injuries from that helicopter crash. Because he looks very fucked up. For 9 years of being in hospital, you think they would have done a bit more healing to him, but maybe there's something else that happens when he comes out of the coma. I mean, there's, as you saw in the trailer from last year, there was a lot of explosions and car crashes, and the ambulance gets flipped over. Whatever they were escaping in at the end, there could be a lot more to it. So,
You could get a lot of shit could happen. In all honesty, I think but a lot of it would be from the helicopter crash there.
I did just notice as well that Kojima had a bit of fun with this trailer, didn't he? Focusing on Quiet's ass there and that shot out there.
Talking about that, Quiet. There's another torture scene with Quiet.
Another torture scene. When she's being
like there was one in the
drowned.
last trailer of her getting electrocuted. Was she a part of Diamond Dogs before?
That
Because you see her in kind of like army gear. Maybe she was part of it, or she infiltrated it, trying to sneak in and do some damage.
I'm trying to think, is she a good or a bad guy as well? Because like, as you saw at the end of this trailer, that she's attacking what looks like the base that the boss is on.
I'm hoping she's a baddie because I want another sniper boss fight.
From Metal Gear 3 Sniper boss fight, it was great.
I've got a feeling she's going to be a baddie, but maybe she was part of them, and then Ocelot. Well, she's done something in Ocelot, like obviously torturing her has forced her to want to get revenge on him, maybe, or kind of because the theme of this is revenge.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to just be Boss getting revenge. If you know what I mean, it could be other people trying to get revenge on him.
Well. I mean, Miller is going to want revenge for what's happened to him.
Because I was talking to a friend yesterday about it, and the thing is, there's not going to be any redemption for Big Boss in this game. It's just going to be a downward pour.
It's going to be a downward spiral of how bad things can get for him, basically. Because we know he gets no redemption, as we know from the other games.
So I think the redemption story is going to be about Kaz.
That could be cool.
Because I think because obviously you want a feel-good ending at the end of the day. You don't want everything to be just kaput. And at some point, Kaz leaves Snake. He's not with him forever.
Because he starts disagreeing with him, doesn't he?
Because he's the one who trains up Solid Snake.
Yeah.
So,
although I'm curious as to how he did that so well with one arm and one leg.
So at some point, I think something at the end of this is going to happen, and Kaz is going to go. Maybe he thinks that there's no point anymore.
Maybe
something snaps him out. We had a crazy theory. This is probably not going to happen. Is what was it? I got a feeling now. Maybe Kaz and something's going to happen with a battle between them.
Or between Snake and Kaz.
Yeah, maybe there's a fight. But we had this crazy thing about. I was talking to Ben about it. It's gone over my head now. Yeah. We had this crazy theory about how this massive fight is going to happen, and it's going to end with. Oh yeah, that was it. Whoever the main bad guy is going to be, is going to have Snake pounding the shit into his face.
Yeah.
Whoever it's going to be, maybe probably Skullface
with his metal hand.
Yeah. And then Kaz tries to pull him off. And then that's when Snake turns around and just beats the shit into Kaz. And just goes mental on him. He just can't come because you haven't seen Snake lose it yet.
No, and he's got it at some point.
In Ground Zeroes, everything went to shit.
Yeah.
But it was Kaz who was the pent up anger, shouting, and Snake kind of just held it back.
Played us like a damn fiddle.
And like in this, you don't really see any aggression from Snake.
No.
You just see him, he's keeping it in, he's slowly losing what he is.
I mean, for example, in this trailer, we see him fall to his knees and scream covered in blood. Something's made him break.
I mean, right at the end, I think all that anger is going to come out and he's going to take out on Kaz.
I think that could be a very good story point, actually.
That's when Kaz just goes, you know what, this is it.
Yeah.
And I'll go on this redemption where he comes back, he trains up Solid Snake, and the end of the game, right, I'm calling it now, right?
Yeah.
End of the game, this is going to be the last game of Big Boss, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be the last. They're going to go in. If they make another one, it's going to be completely different, or a different character, whoever. It's going to end with Kaz being a young Solid Snake, right? Or it's going to end with Solid Snake crawling through the sewers, and it ends Crisis Core style at the start of the original Metal Gear.
That would be very cool.
And that's how it ends.
Because, I mean, when is the original Metal Gear? What year?
That is in 1991, so in the 90s.
Yeah,
but,
so only so a few years after this.
It was just skipped to that point where he's come out. You're going to see Kaz like meet like maybe a little kid like, oh, what's your name? Like it'll be I'm David.
Like, oh yeah, because
and then like you meet a young Sith and it was just forward into
if
the
that
future.
happens.
Well, yeah,
if that happens, David Hayter best be voicing that kid, and he best be as fucking gruff as possible.
It'll come up in the sewers. It'll be David Hayter, and he go, "Kept you waiting."
Yeah, that'd be incredible. That'd be the best ending, because it would kind of you'd have all this seriousness through the game, and you'd have that little joke at the end, and it'd be like, yeah. Should we jump on to the biggest talking point then of this trailer? What the hell's Metal Gear Rex over there?
If it's Rex.
Yeah, I mean, he does look a lot like Rex, but Zeke looked a lot like Rex.
No, Zeke had Zeke did look. It looked a lot different.
Okay.
I think it's the only thing I can think of about if that is Rex is it's a prototype. It's a prototype version of Rex, because if I remember correctly, Granin had designs for Rex.
Yeah,
Slide 3.
He has the picture and everything as well.
Well, he has a little toy in the background.
Yeah.
So, so I think Rex was the original kind of design, and then
technology at the time meant he had to do the what was it called? The something pod. The Metal Gear 3 Metal Gear. What was it called?
Well, Shagohod.
Shagohod, that's it. Yeah. Maybe that's what he had to design instead of Rex, because Rex couldn't be done yet.
Yeah. Well, he didn't design Shagohod.
Of course, no. It was the Volga, wasn't it? Yeah.
Sokolov had done that.
Yeah.
Granin had designs for Metal Gear, but Volgan chose to take on Sokolov instead of him.
Ah, nice. Well, yeah, I mean, that would make sense. I mean, maybe this is a prototype, or do we even know when Rex was built?
Yeah. But that's the thing. No, but that's the thing. I always thought Otacon was the one who designed it. I just don't want this to take away from his character.
Yeah. It turns out he doesn't design Rex.
Yeah, and he kind of nicked the plans off. Say maybe these were... Maybe... That's why Huey's getting tortured, actually. Here's another theory. Everything's going to be centered around Huey in this game.
Maybe.
Huey's going to be the big... Maybe after what happened with MSF, if Huey is... This could go in the fear of him working or not. Maybe he gets captured and he's forced into making a new Metal Gear, which is Metal Gear Rex, which could be because the plans go through the family.
Yeah.
So Rex, the plans get off, and then Otacon finds his dad's former plan, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then it goes on. Because he does, like you were saying earlier, he does state like he's been around, his family's always been around nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
So maybe he was forced to make Metal Gear Rex, the original Metal Gear Rex.
That would make sense as well.
That'll make sure why they're getting tortured, and I don't have to feel bad about Huey being a baddie.
Yeah. You don't want me to be baddie. Oh, and the song is called Nuclear by Mike Oldfield. Another very good song for Metal Gear trailer.
The thing we haven't talked about is Demon Dogs. Diamond Dogs, sorry, Demon Dogs. I got demons stuck in my head. Snake slowly becoming a demon. So Diamond Dogs, is that going to slowly become Foxhound? That's what I'm thinking.
I think so as well. Yeah, I mean that is possible as well.
It seems like it's the first stage of Foxhound, I reckon, because that's what.
Maybe Grey Fox is going to show up at some point in this. Was Frank Jaeger?
He could do.
Maybe that's who the kid is.
No, because he's grown up. If you count Portable Ops, he's already.
Oh,
Grey
of course,
Fox has
yeah,
already been established. But yeah, he's got to join Snake at some point. Big Boss, because obviously he's the second in command in Metal Gear 2, and he's part of Foxhound in Metal Gear 1. So, but yeah, you basically is this the first one? Because Big Boss establishes Foxhound.
Yeah.
Zero establishes Fox, and then Foxhound is by Big Boss. So maybe he makes Foxhound to a little stab at Zero, because obviously Zero is going to be the main baddie.
Yeah.
Because he's the leader of Cypher. So unless they want to carry on the Cypher story into another game afterwards. But
I wonder if also Peace Walker had a lot of ramifications of the boss.
Yeah.
So you reckon, it doesn't look like this one's going to have that.
I don't want the boss in this whatsoever. I think her story ended in Peace Walker.
Yeah.
With her going off, because it was like her spirit going on, and
Yeah.
moving on for when it dies in the water. Like it's kind of like I've always looked at her spirit moves on.
Yeah.
So I don't want
I
her.
don't think they need to bring her back.
I think it'd be forced if they bring her back.
This isn't a story theory or anything, but one thing I do hope with this is we get some multiplayer again, like Peace Walker. Because I mean, I had so much fun fighting the bosses in Peace Walker that it'd be incredible to play in this.
Well, I heard somewhere that you can have. It's going to be people can visit your mother bases.
Oh right.
So people can pop up.
Animal Crossing Metal Gear.
Run around with you in mother base. So hopefully that happens because I want people to see my mother base.
Paint it all pretty.
But yeah, well, I think that's be done.
Yeah, I think that's all I've got. Pretty much covered everything we had planned.
Yeah, so that's
that was a very long, in-depth
well, that's me.
analysis of Metal Gear.
When I started talking about Metal Gear,
We turned a Zelda trailer that was 2 minutes long into a 20-minute video, and a Metal Gear video that's 6 minutes long into a 26-minute video.
But yeah, so that's Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah, hope you enjoyed the analysis and hopefully you learned something or have got your creative juices flowing, trying to figure out what's going on in Metal Gear.
Right. Bye.
Bye.